Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will discuss about relations. Why we should learn about relations? Because when we study the relationships between objects, we can get some important information about the object themselves. For example, when we have the real numbers, we study about the inequalities for sets. Then we study inclusion. For sets, we study inclusion. Right, and for integers we study divisibility and congruences, and we know that there are some properties that we use in real life related to congruences, and all of these relationships, whether between real numbers, set, or integers, will be seen to be special cases of the concept of a relation. So what is a relation? So in general, the concept of a relation has very broad applicability, but this level of generality limits what we can prove, because when we know there are two objects, then we can see any relations between them. So it is very general. And any theorems proof about relations must be true for a wide variety of relationship. That's why we sometimes get some difficulties to prove some properties there. And for this reason, mathematicians have singled out several types of relation for special study. For example, next we will discuss about some specific relations. For example, we have the reflexivity, then symmetric, and transitivity, and then maybe antisymmetric. And by studying special types of relations, the theorems that we can prove will be much more interesting. Why? Because when we try to see the specific one, then they have more properties there, so we can get some properties that maybe we can use in real life. And the relationship that we study have been chosen to be widely applicable. So we have the application, while simultaneously providing us with a rich collection of theorem. So we have the theorem from there. And what are the examples? And here we have some close examples. For example, when we have in real number, we have less than. That's a relation. For example, when we take 1 and 2, we have 1 is less than 2. That is a relation. And for example, another example, when we have some sets here, so we take this inclusion. So maybe we have the set of real number and the set of complex number. We have our R here is a subset of our C. Okay, that's also a relation. Another example is divisibility on the natural numbers. That's also a relation. So what is the definition of relation? So in general, when we have A and B sets, so we have two sets A and B, a relation from A to B is a subset of A cross B. So some references, they ask to be non-empty subset, but here we refer to this one, so only a subset, so can be empty. So please note that that will get some differences. And for arbitrary elements A in A and B in B, we will write A R B to mean A comma B in R. So if A and B are related, then we say A comma B is in R. Okay. In the case when A is equal to B, then what happened? So we have a relation here in A cross A. Then we say R is a relation on A, because we have A is equal to B. And what is the example? First, we have example 20.2. When we have set A is this, and this is our set B, and we set our relation is this. So 1 is related to y and 3 is related to x, and we only have that 2. Then we have these 2, but yeah, we don't have 1 rz because 1 is not related with z. Okay, so we also can write like this: 1 is not related to z. Okay, and in fact, yeah, besides 1 is relating to y and 3 relating to x, and we have no element of A relates to any elements of B because we only have something like this. We have 1, 2, 3 here, A, and then we have set B here, x, y, z. So we only have 1 to y and then 3 to x. That's all. Okay, next example, example 20.3. When we have A and B are a set of natural number, then we define this relation. So A and B are related if the difference, so A minus B, is equal to 2. So we have 3,1 and 5,3 are in R, but yeah, when we change the order, please remember, when we change the order, so we will see that 1 minus 3 is minus 2 is not equal to 2. And also 3 minus 5 is minus 2 is not equal to 2 also. Then we have 1, 3 and 3,5 are not in R. Okay, so we also care about the order. And next, example 20.4. And we can define relations on set of words. For example, we have the set of all words in the English language. Then we define this R is, yeah, 2 words alpha and beta are related if they have the same length. So for example, when we have the first word is tree and the second word is yaks, and we have this one has 4 letters, okay, and this one also have 4 letters. So with this relation, we can say that they are related. But when we have this word awesome, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we have 7 letters here. Of course, it is not related to gum because gum only has 3 letters. Okay, so when we define this relation, then we can find the relation between 2 words here, and we might name this relation by the have same length relation. And how about the next one? So we have next example. When we have set A, this is as A, and our B is the power set of A, and we define a relation from A to B using the following. So A and X are related if A is in X. Okay, so remember what is PA? PA is this. So we have empty set. Don't forget about empty set. And singleton 1, singleton 2, singleton 3, and so on up to we have, yeah, set A. Okay, so it is make sense if we define a relation like this. And since X is a set, so it's clear it is make sense. And in this case, we take A is equal to 2, then X is this set. So remember that if we see, so we have X is subset A, so of course X in PA, then we see that A is related to X. And yeah, if we see from other angle, so we have when we have A in A and X in B, we see that A is related to X if and only if A in X. So we have this symbol looks like better than, yeah, this symbol because this one is more common. Okay, and next example, example 20.6, we have set A is this, same like example 20.5, and we can break A up to pieces. For example, we break A into these pieces. So we have this set S. So if we try to rewrite it, so we try to draw the diagram. We have 1, 2, something like this, and then we have 3 and 4, and we have this 5. Okay. So we define a relation A comma B in A cross A for some X in S, both A in X and B in X. What's the meaning? If we see from this diagram, then A is related to B if and only if they are in the same blocks. Okay. For example, 1 related to 2 and 2 also related to 1. 3 and 4 they are related, but 5 only related to itself. Okay. And check when we have this A1 and 2 blah blah blah, we have 1 is related to 2, but 1 and 4 we have here, they are in the different blocks, so 1 is not related to R. So we also can say, not only use the symbol, we also can write in the symbol. Okay, 1 is not related to 4, or 1 comma 4 is not in R. That's the same thing. So if we try to list all the possible elements of A cross A, it should be here. So we try to list all elements of R. So we have 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2. So from here, then 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2. This one comes from, if we see, comes from this block, and then this part from this block, and then 5 comma 5 comes from this block. Okay, so hopefully it should be clear. And how to define a relation? So the first thing, we can simply list all the possible ordered pairs in R, but the problem is we cannot use it in general. And we have another option. So we have seen that is to write R using set builder notation. That's also work. And for example, when we define have the same length relation, so we have notation there, but maybe sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but that's normal in relation. So when we define a relation, we also can do this one. We can use set builder notation. So for example 20.7, when we see again, we recall example 20.3. So we have here 20.3, this one. Okay, so we have R is this, and we also can say that let R be a relation on N defined by A is related to B if A minus B is equal to 2. So to make it shorter, then, and this one is much shorter compared to if we want to write the complete sentence, that be the relation blah 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 satisfying blah blah blah. So please note that sometimes we also can make it simpler but with the same meaning. Okay, so next, please remember, as with any definition, when we define a relation R with the word if, the meaning if here means if and only if. So it is not only an implication but the implication. For instance, when we have the definition ARB, so we only say if there, but actually the meaning is if and only if. So we have two ways. Okay, and this is a standard convention of mathematical language that can take some getting used to. Okay, and we go to the next example 20.9. If we have A is equal to R and we define a relation on R, so we have this R, so the set of real number, and this is the relation. What is the relation? When we take the difference, x minus y is negative. So remember, if we have this x minus y, is negative, what's the meaning? Yeah, we have x less than y. Okay, so if we want to express R in set builder notation, we also can write like this. And please note that, yeah, we see here same meaning, so same requirements. So yeah, rather than we use the mathematical notation like this R, so we also can this one is real number. Okay, and yeah, we also can use the symbol this symbol, so we use less than. And we have some standard symbols. For example, yeah, we have this one, less than or equal to, and this one is greater than or equal to, greater, equal, and then it's not equal to. So for example, we have another symbol here, and we see that A be the set of all compound sentences from P and Q. Then we define a relation R on A by x is related to y if x is logically equivalent to y, and usually we use this symbol. So yeah, as mentioned before, when we talk about relation, it is very general. So it's not only about number or about sentences, or yeah, this one also can be, right? So we also have the set of something, and set is general. And next we discuss about the properties of relations on a set A. We have this definition. First is, when we have a relation R on a set A, we call R is reflexive if for every A in A is related to A. So yeah, how to prove whether R is reflexive or not? Then yeah, we just take any element of A, then prove, yeah, A is related to itself. And the second one is symmetric. R is symmetric if for every two elements in A, when we have A is related to B, then yeah, the other way, B is related to A. For example, yeah, if we have for example, okay, the parity lah. So we try to see A is related to B if they have same parity. So when we try to see A and B, then B and A also the same. Okay, this one also. So A must be have the same parity with A. And next, we say that R is transitive if we take three elements in A. So if A related to B and B is related to C, then we have A is related to C. For example, again, we parity relation. That's also transitive. And the last one is antisymmetric if we take two elements in A. If we have A is related to B and B is related to A, then A is equal to B. So parity relation is not anti-symmetric. Why? Because for example, 2 is related to 4 and 4 is related to 2, but 2 is not equal to 4. So what's the example of anti-symmetric? So for example, when we have less than or equal to, or we have greater than or equal to, or when we see a set, so we have inclusion, or yeah, another one. Okay, next we talk about example 20.12. Consider the equality relation on C. Which of the four properties above hold for this relation? First, yeah, it is clear that the relation is reflexive. Why? Because A is equal to A. And yeah, it is also symmetric. Why? Because when we have A is equal to B, then it's clear that B is equal to A. And of course, it is transitive because when we have A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A equal to B and B is equal to C, then it's clear A is equal to C. So we have this, and yeah, clear it is antisymmetric. Why? Yeah, every times we have A is equal to B and B is equal to A, it's clear that A is equal to B. Okay, so this relation satisfies 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, next example 20.13. When we have this relation less than on R, we will show that less than is not reflexive, not symmetric, but it is transitive and it is anti-symmetric. Why it is not reflexive? So remember this one, it must hold for all. So we can find here a counter example. So we take 0 in R, and it's clear that 0 is not less than 0. And the next one, yeah, 0 is less than 1, but 1 is not less than 0. So we have R here, our relation here, less than, is not symmetric. Because again, when we have for all, the negation becomes their axis. Okay, and the transitivity should be clear, because when we have A is less than B and B is less than C, we have A is less than C. Or if you feel confused, then you also can say like this: A minus B less than 0, then B minus C also less than 0. And when you add these two, what we have A minus B. Okay, and it's clear that, yeah, because both of them are negative, so when we add them, we get also the addition, the result becomes negative. So we have A is less than C. Sorry, this one should be C. Okay, and it should be antisymmetric. Why? Yeah, remember when you have if P then Q, when P is wrong, okay, whatever the result, this one is wrong, so the whole sentence is correct. That's why when we have A less than B and B less than A, it is impossible, cannot be happen, because yeah, remember when you have two real numbers, you have trichotomy. So yeah, of course, the whole implication is true. Okay, next we discuss example 20.14. When we have this set, then we define a relation R on A. This is the relation. We would like to prove that R is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, but not anti-symmetric. So how to check the reflexivity? Then yeah, we just check every possibility. For example, we check, oh, okay, 1,1, then 2,2. So 1,1, 2,2, and then 3,3, 4,4, all inside. And 4,4 in R. So we have it is reflexive. Then how about the second one? It's clear, 1,2 there, then 2,1 also there, 1,3 there, 3,1 also there, 2,3, 3,2, okay, and yeah, this one 1,1 should be clear lah. So that's the reason why relation R is symmetric. And how about the transitivity? This one is much more complicated, but actually we only have to check every possibility. For example, we have 1,2 and 2,3 in R. So we also have 1,3 in R. Okay, should be clear, and check one by one, and we can see that it is transitive. But remember, it is not antisymmetric. Why? Because when we see here 1,2 and 2,1 is in R, right? R in R, correct? 1,1 is here. This one is 1,2, 2,1. 1,2, 2,1, both of them are in R, but yeah, one is not equal to 2. So it is not anti-symmetric. Okay, so please remember when a relation R is given explicitly by a set, for example like this, it is difficult to check transitivity, and sometimes, usually lah, it's not only sometimes, we will see in the following example, transitivity is often easier to check when R is defined by a rule. For example, this one, we have this R, the relation on R given by ARB if B minus A is here. What is the meaning of this? If we check here, B minus A is non-negative, right? So what we have, B is greater than or equal to A with this symbol. And we have, it's clear, it is reflexive. Why? Yeah, it's clear lah. We have A is less than or equal to A. Okay. So yeah, this one also we can see like this, much easier because we have ARB. So ARB if only if A is less than or equal to B. And it is not symmetric. Why? Because when we see A is equal to 0, B is equal to 1, we have 0 is less than 1, but 1 is not less than 0, so it's not symmetric. But it's clear that it is transitive because when we have A is less than B and B is less than C, then A is less than C. It's clear. And this one is also anti-symmetric because when we have A is less than or equal to B, B is less than or equal to A, it's clear we have A is equal to B. And actually, this definition, the motivation comes from this relation. So it is normal then that we have this one is anti-symmetric. And usually when we define partial order, we also use this property. And please note one more, when you want to prove a relation whether it is reflexive, then what you have to do, take any X in A, then prove that X is related to X. How about the second one? You have to take any 2, okay, and prove this sentence holds. Then transitivity, take any 3, prove this. Antisymmetric, take 2, then prove this. So how about the negation? The negation, when you try to prove that it is not reflexive, that what you have to do, then just show there exists X in A such that X is not related to X. Okay. The next one, how to prove it is not symmetric. Then not reflexive, not symmetric. How to prove it? Just prove that we have X related to Y, but Y is not related to X. Okay, that what you have to do. So find an example. And how about this one? Show there exists 3 elements in A such that X is related to Y and Y is related to Z, but X is not related to Z. And the last one, proof here. So take an example which satisfy X related to Y and Y related to X, but X is not equal to Y. Okay, that's what we should do, okay, in general. And we have the next example before we go to the equivalence relations. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4. So example 20.17, when we have U is a non-empty set and S is equal to PU, then we can define this relation. So inclusion, where A and B in S subset of U. It's clear that it is reflexive. Why? Because A is subset A for every set A. Should be clear. Then it is transitive because when A subset B, B subset C, then we have A subset C. Should be clear, right? A subset B, B subset C. In this one A, this one B, this one C. So A should be subset C. And also antisymmetric. Why? Because when we have A and B, A subset B, and B subset A, then we have A is equal to B. But it is not symmetric. Why? Yeah, for example, when we have this set, again, when you try to prove it is not something here, see, just use a counter example. For example, when A 1, 2, my B is 1, 2, 3, it's clear that A subset B, but yeah, B is not subset A. Okay, so this one is for the symmetric one. And example 20.18, when we have a non-empty set, we have R is an empty set. So this one is empty relation. It is clear that it is not reflexive. Why? Because A is not related to A. Clear, it's not reflexive. But yeah, it is symmetric, transitive, and anti-symmetric, because when we see here, we have all of them are implication. So this part becomes strong, this part also becomes strong, this part also becomes strong. That's why we have the whole sentence becomes true. Okay, that's why we have here R is symmetric, transitive, and anti-symmetric. Okay, and last two example, when we have A be any non-empty set and we have R is A cross A, then yeah, A comma B in A, we have A related to B. So okay, we can skip this one. And the last one is here. When we have A is the set of natural number and we have two elements in N, we define ARB if for some X in N, AX equal to B. So what's the meaning? Yeah, we have the divisibility here. And we will write like this, A divides B. And we have this. And it's clear it is reflexive. Why? Because when we take any A in N, we have A equal to A times 1. Okay, so it's clear A divides A. And how about the transitivity? When we have A is equal to maybe x1b, and then B is equal to x2c, then what we have, A is equal to, my B is here, so this one is equal to x1, x2 times C, right? What's the meaning? We have C divides A. Okay, so yeah, so here I have, or maybe to make it more consistent, then I want A divides B. What's the meaning? So B is x1 times A. Then I have 1, A divides B, B divides C. So B, this one C. So to make it more consistent, I change. So I have, what is my B is x1A. So what is my C? x1 times x2A, correct? So I have A divides C. Okay, this one means A divides B. This one means A divides C. Then we have A divides C. So it is transitive. And how about the antisymmetric? So imagine when you have A is equal to XB and B is equal to XA, then yeah, you should have your X is equal to 1. Cannot be other. Okay. So what's the meaning? Yeah, we have A is equal to B. And it is not symmetric, it's clear. For example, when you have, when you try to prove it is not in this case, So not here, just use example. So take 2 and 4 maybe. So it's clear 2 divides 4, but 4 is not divides does not divide A, does not divide 2. Okay, so I think that's all about the relations. Okay, thank you for watching these videos, and hopefully you can understand better, and yeah, hopefully it will be useful. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.